Welcome back to the War Room. I'm Jason Wilson, and this channel was built for you guys to be able to navigate the real estate industry and be able to make over $1 million. Remember, this is about provision for the vision. What is your vision? Why are you in the real estate industry? If you can answer the question of why the real estate industry, it's going to be a lot easier for you to navigate the ups and the downs. This is going to be the last in our series on mindset, where we're talking about from a biblical perspective of how we use faith and think and apply scripture to be able to go ahead and achieve and overcome our limiting beliefs, the improper patterns that we use to create the wrong result, and to uncover what belief systems we have that might need to be dismantled and recreated, that we can look at real estate industry as a light switch. When we walk into a room and we flip on a light switch, it doesn't take a lot of faith, energy, or anything to believe that that's actually going to turn on. And in fact, we'd be a little puzzled if it didn't. If real estate were that simple as I just simply go out and have conversations and boom, there are deals there to be had, and I could do a competent job at it, this would be the way to go about that. So today's video is going to be about the culmination of teamwork. If you are a lone wolf or operate on your own, this may not be the video for you. This video is going to be about partnership. We did talk about partnership in one of our prior videos, which you can check out the link here. And that was about net breaking, boat sinking increase, how to grow, and what it's like to partner with other people that grow, and how somebody else exercised their faith, and as the partners you got to take a look at that and be part of it without necessarily having to exercise any faith of your own. You were just in partnership. And so that story we've discussed. Now we're going to talk about from a team standpoint. If you are on a team, if you wish to be on a team, this is how teams can create victory at levels you can't reproduce. And it is not a group of individuals with their own goals about singing their favorite song, me, right? Because that's what people do, is it's all about me. It's about what I want. It's going to be about, what I can get out of something. This is what we call the as one concept. There are great football teams that you can look at that they were winning teams, but they could not win the Super Bowl. And when they would bring in a leader, like when Tom Brady had switched teams and came in, he had been to the Super Bowl many times before, so he knew what it was like to go to the Super Bowl. And so he was able to reframe the team to work cohesively towards this end goal and recreate that outcome. Did that change the work ethic? Did that change the time they had to put into it? It absolutely did. But using the as one concept, then they realized that if everybody does their part and plays their role and puts in their effort, that they together can achieve this. So I'm going to share a video with you, and I'm going to attempt to hopefully not get a copyright strike on this, so I will have to break it up. And so we'll treat this a little bit like a reaction video and share with you a clip from the movie Gladiator to illustrate the as one concept. So let's go ahead and do this.
All of mighty Carthage on the barren plain.
So what's happening right now is he's talking about a recreation during their war games of the fall of mighty Carthage. So he sent out Maximus and a bunch of the gladiators who don't know what, they just know they're there to fight. They don't know what they're there to fight. And they're finding out from the narrator that they're about to recreate this battle between Scipio Africanus and the Hannibal's hordes. And basically, the historical record was the role that the gladiators are playing, they were completely decimated. So you find out, hey, we're out here, we're about to be slaughtered for the entertainment of these people, and here's the layout of that.
Of Zarma, there stood the invincible armies of the barbarian Hannibal, ferocious mercenaries and warriors from all brute nations bent on merciless destruction, conquest. Your emperor is pleased to give you the barbarian horde.
So there's the moment where you're like, well, that's freaking awesome. So we're the barbarian horde. We're about to get slaughtered and understand what that looks like. Now, for those of you that don't know the story, Maximus was a Roman general. He was in charge of the Felix legions and the armies of the north. So he had military experience. So let's see what happens next.
Anyone here been in the army?
Yes. I thought we could have been about it.
You can help me. Whatever comes out of these gates, we've got a better chance of survival if we work together. Do you understand? If we stay together, we survive.
Pleased to bring you.
Okay, so that right there is a powerful piece of information. He said, we stand together. First of all, he goes, who was in the army, some of the guys that actually served with him. And they basically said, if we stand together, we stand a better chance of surviving. If we stay together, we survive. So he's trying to unify them, and he's going to go through some military strategies that work even in a group dynamic. So let's take a look at what those are.
The Legionnaires of Scipio, Africa!
So, of course, I'm now going to introduce the Legionnaires, with these guys coming out of horses and chariots with the plates on the side, so they're way better equipped for this fight than these guys with their spears and their shields. So you're going to see, at first, what happens when they all stand as individuals before starting to stand together. So obviously there's just a bunch of running around. You get an idea of what they're doing from a tactician standpoint. The big guy's able to repel with an arrow. One guy takes a fall. And now you're starting to see them form. So Maximus is calling out for them to form. Now the term of what they're doing is how the Roman Empire took over the whole world. And it's known as a phalanx, and it's when they lock their shields together to form a single impenetrable army. Some people refer to it as the Roman police.
Lock your shields! Stay as one!
So he's screaming, lock your shields as one.
Hold! As one!
Right, so they repelled blade from the chariot, and they're coming back around to hit harder and faster. Same result.
Hold! Diamond! Diamond!
Okay, so right there is a significant change that I want to talk about. So he has them holding together, and then he says the word diamond, diamond, and they basically deflect the shields out so that the wheel picks up and it flips the chariot. But because they work together, because they chose to be able to do this as an impenetrable single unit, the long and short of it, and I'm not going to finish the video, I encourage you to go look at the clip, is because they took on this ideal. I am responsible for the life of the person to the left of me and to the right of me. If they live, I live. We do this together. If we fight as one, we're unstoppable. This concept is realistically the difference between teams that can achieve more than versus the teams that are a bunch of independents. Now, you can argue and even find a group of independents that have way outperformed me and do way better, and that's true. And that has a lot to do with, how much effort was done on the other sides of, the workload and the marketing and the goals and all that stuff. But the people who learn to fight together as a single impenetrable unit that work together in lockstep will always achieve higher results depending on as long as they want to. If they're like, hey, we want to achieve 40 million and that's it, and that's all they do, and they enjoy the rest of their life, they got where they wanted to go. So you can say somebody else is doing 100 million and that's fine. But if you took the team that's doing 100 million and you applied the as one concept, they would probably be doing 250, 300, maybe even $500 million in volume, simply because the as one concept is so incredibly powerful because it's a multiplication. It's the units. The scriptural principle was if one can put 1,000 a flight, two could put 10,000 a flight. And so when two or more are gathered in his name, he's there in their presence. And so this idea of togetherness, of oneness, can create great multiplication in results and power to be able to move forward. It also allows, when doubt and fear and other things hit you in the day-to-day production, someone to your right and left is like, you got this, we can do this, that encouragement together. And it's not just rah-rah. It's not just blah, 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 rah-rah. Like, you're taking the hits together, and it disperses that energy. So that's the as one concept. It's a team concept. If you can build your organization around that idea, whether that is just you and the admins, or if you have a brokerage and a market center, or you're into short-term rentals and you have a team with cleaners and concierge people and marketing and booking people, all of that together. If you can work as an as one concept and never ever take on the idea, well, that's not my job, that's somebody else's job, where you look out for each other, then what you get is a team that has to survive. It is an age-old military concept that caused the Roman Empire to take over the known world and create victory. So I share that with you. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.